I saw this article on Instagram. I wanted to know what you guys thought about AI taking over the classrooms, because apparently London already this September has started this type of teaching. Is it better for the schools to have AI as teachers? Because there's a lot of controversy around some of the things going on with teachers and students these days, especially with regard to SA, if you know what that stands for. These people, TikTok and YouTube is where actually you're going to find me, YouTube. But TikTok and YouTube are very, very strict and particular about what the things, how we describe these things. But you know what I'm saying? Teacher-student interactions. There's a lot of stuff in the news all the time. Women teachers, male teachers, inappropriate behaviors. I did a YouTube video yesterday about Diddy and his charter school. Did you know Diddy had a charter school that he had co-founded and hadn't done nothing for the school except donate some old couches and studio equipment? He took a group of the kids to the Billboard Awards at one point, and that was really, I think, early on. It opened in 2016. A lot of the parents, they brought their kids to the school because of the celebrity, the proximity to celebrity, okay? A lot of these parents and the kids wanted to be famous. They wanted their kids to be successful in whether music, TV, entertainment. And the people on the board of the school, Dapper Dan's daughter was one of the board members. Sunny Hostin from The View. A couple of other celebrity figures that they would not name in the article. But the board was also celebrity driven. The parents wanted to get their students, get their kids into this school because Diddy's name was on it. They wanted their kids to be able to audition for him, meet this man. So with that being said, Diddy having his own school, with what we're finding out Diddy has been up to with regard to children, how did that even happen? His name was not even clean in 2016. I'm talking Tupac, Biggie, Kim Porter. And with all that being said, maybe his school would have been better off had the teachers been AI as well as the principal, because apparently the school, in the years that have been open, it's still open actually. They took Diddy out as a co-founder, but the school has been riddled with problems, violence, just unsuccessful operations in general. Just real bad. Just real bad. Real bad. Okay? In the words of Young Miami. But I'm talking about Diddy School because I saw this article about this AI school in London. They're already doing this month. Okay? Nobody wants their kids now around these teachers who are SAing their students, who are not teaching their students, just bringing their own baggage to the classroom and not doing the students any justice. At Diddy's charter school, and I can't think of the name of the charter school right in this moment, but Diddy's charter school, they had fly uniforms, nice environment. They eventually moved they're in Harlem, in a bad neighborhood in Harlem, a worse neighborhood, when they moved into a Catholic church that had been established 135 years ago and was technically a landmark in New York, in Harlem, New York. How did Diddy and his co-founder, I think his name was Steve Perry, I'm doing all this by memory. I did a video on YouTube. You can find my YouTube channel, Goddess Dawn Speaks or $1 Trillion Goddess. The link is in the bio. Go over there and subscribe and come to the lives. But listen, Diddy had this charter school from 2016. They have now removed him as a co-founder. Just months after the raids, they removed him. But the school had problems. And Diddy was nowhere to be found, they said. He popped up every blue moon, took some kids, like I said, to the Billboard Awards. What were these kids doing at the Billboard Awards? Were their parents with them? Did they go to any after parties after the awards? Diddy had no business with kids at the Billboard Awards. Also, I mean, listen, violence riddled that school. Apparently, school started out at 7th and 8th graders only. This one student said she had a wonderful experience at the school. Excellent teachers. She had a vibe with the friends. Mind you, a lot of these students wanted to be stars. They were talented. Their parents put them there, like I said, for the proximity to celebrity, to Diddy, to the board members. I think Naomi Campbell popped in, they said, to talk about self-care. That, he did these things, but he only did it once. Like, if he would have continued to have his celebrity friends come in and give these kids something to aspire to and be motivated by, instead of having them sitting in the cafeteria for hours at a time, twiddling their thumbs. Okay? They weren't being taught. But yet, for some way, they saying 100% of the graduates are going to four-year universities. How? How are they going to four-year universities? Well, one of the parents said that her child made it to the four-year university, but guess what? He failed the first semester. He couldn't sustain being a student because he wasn't prepared. He wasn't properly prepared for college. And this is supposed to be a college prep university. Diddy is the reason that I think AI teachers and run schools might be a good idea. Or is that giving AI too much power over our children to be able to teach our children? Who's going to be monitoring what the AI is teaching our children? How do we know what's being said throughout the day? All of these things are to be considered when thinking about AI-driven schools and classrooms. But Diddy and his charter school needed this. I'm telling you, if they would have done this, they might be doing okay. Now, at this point, I'm thinking the feds might be watching, because there's no way or no reason for this school to still be open and operating. Even though they removed him as co-founder, him being co-founder should not have had the impact that it did on how bad the school was run. Somebody else, his other co-founder, what about Steve Perry's role in this? They need to be shut down immediately. These children, they kept adding grades. So it was 7th and 8th grade, then they added a 9th grade, another 100 and something students. They said that then the fighting started. Then they added a 10th grade, another 170 students. More fighting. There was an incident with a janitor sending a student to the ER, busting him over the head over the kid's girlfriend. She said the janitor was being real vulgar and hitting on her. This is a problem. But we're talking about Diddy and his charter school and the fact that London has introduced AI taught classrooms this month, actually. And is that a good idea? Because some of these schools are just out of hand, out of pocket. You see stories every single day about a teacher being inappropriate with students, all of that. But how do we monitor if an AI is in charge of teaching? How do we monitor the robots? How do we know? Do we get a recording of the class activities of the day or the class? Like, should it be recorded for the parents to be able to tap in whenever, a live stream maybe? Because I don't know that I would trust my child with a robot all day long, or robots. How is this going to affect them long term? Are our children going to turn into robots eventually? Will the lack of human interaction from a teacher negatively affect the children? There's a lot of things to be considered when talking about AI teaching the kids. But they're doing it in London. They're doing it. And I was using Sean Carter's charter school as an example. I did a video on my YouTube channel about it yesterday or the day before. Just letting you know, that school was a hot mess. It still is. It's still running, even though they just removed him as a co-founder. But he might have had good intentions, but that school, he did nothing for the school. They didn't even, some students graduated, were so excited for the chance to meet him. They went through the whole school term from freshman to senior, graduation, and then said, oh, maybe we'll meet him at graduation. Guess what? He didn't show up. He sent a video from his plane saying he had plane troubles. But what he was really doing probably was freak-offs, hanging out with young Miami, and whatever else he was doing that he shouldn't have been doing, okay? But I want to say thanks to for popping in. I'm just testing this live. This is the first time I've really gone live like this on YouTube. It's kind of interesting, but I'm usually on TikTok, but I'm usually on YouTube. Find me over there. The link is in the bio. And I don't know. What do y'all think about AI taught classrooms, AI driven schools? They're doing this in London. And then what do you think about also, at the same time, Diddy had a charter school. Did y'all know he had a charter school in Harlem? 2016, it opened. And there have been horrific things happening. The students have had to protest for supplies. All these donors donating all this money to this school. Where was the money going? And how are these kids getting into college when they weren't prepared or ready? Who's paying these people off or greasing or baby oiling their palms? How is this happening? And, you know, it's just a mess. You're messing with people's kids, and you're messing with kids and their futures. And that's what is so troubling about this whole Diddy situation, especially now finding out there's as young as 9-year-olds involved in these allegations. But I guess time will tell, and this was a test. I'm going to bounce out of here. Till next time, bye.